All right, hey everybody, Matt here. I'm here with Travis Barnes, owner, master distiller, probably garbage taker-outer,
Head
janitor of Hotel Tango. And we're really excited because this is the first ever single barrel release from Hotel Tango. It's batch number 1, and this is actually bottle number 11. So on the back, you'll see all these handwritten codes. It's 1 year and 10 months old, and it's bottled non-chill filtered at cask strength, 112 proof. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, so Travis, tell us a little bit about Hotel Tango. A lot of people probably have visited your place. You have a military background. You're a combat vet, and best thing for a vet to do is make alcohol, I guess.
From battlefield to farm field to glass.
Yeah.
It's kind of the path I took. And came back from my military career and ended up in law school down here at Indy. And that's where I met my wife and my partners. And combination of bad grades and worse economy. I was doing this as a hobby and giving it away as presents. And to our surprise, people actually liked it and said, you know, on a small scale batch, this stuff is really good. You should think about doing it legally and on a bigger scale. And that's really what kind of was the foundation of pushing us beyond from hobby to actual career and business.
Right. So I think one of the biggest challenges, and you can probably speak to this better than I can, for craft distilleries is kind of, if the dream is whiskey, ramping up to that can be difficult because you basically have to write a business model that sort of doesn't really include whiskey initially and then work your way up to it. So maybe talk about that, because when you're talking about a bottle that was distilled, that you distilled in age, and it's 1 year and 10 months old, you're pretty proud of this. I mean, obviously you want to sell it, but
oh, I mean, yeah, it's the ultimate, you know, back and forth between is it ready or not ready, and when it is ready, you know, you're always afraid that, you know, it's like a painting or a painter that, you know, you can always improve it a little bit more here and there, but at a certain point you've got to say, all right, baby's ready to go. I think she's absolutely ready to go. I mean,
so you've released Bravo Bourbon before, correct?
Yes.
This is the first single barrel cask strength bottling of it.
That is ours. Yep.
That is your estate whiskey.
Yes, sir.
All right, so talk about this mash bill and talk about the still that it was distilled on. Talk about the barrel it was aged in.
So it's first, we'll start at the barrel. So white oak, American white oak, brand new.
New charred white oak.
Yep. Yes, sir. Yep. Number 3 char.
Number 3. Okay.
It's a high rye. So we've got 75, 25 from corn, wheat, and malted barley. Right. And so after that, it's aged for 1 year, 10 months.
1 year, 10 months.
It's
and how many of these casks did we pick from? Like 3 or 4?
3 or 4.
Yeah. So that's what's extra special about this. This was only 3 or 4 kind of OG, some of the first bourbon that you guys ever put down while you were basically getting your whole thing up and running. And, you know, this was old facility?
First, oh yeah. I mean, this is, you know.
This was on a relatively small still.
Pot still, 4-column, you know, truly it was a whiskey still.
So how many distillations did it take to create 1 barrel of whiskey?
We do 2 runs, so it's been distilled 8 times per plate. So
right.
So you've got 4 times 8. So
and then are you and this was a couple years ago, so maybe you don't remember, but what proof did it come off of the still, and then you proofed it back, or?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, it'll start coming off between 160, 170, somewhere in there, and then we'll drop it down between 100 to 110. Okay. So we kind of collect our hearts, and it'll still run out for another. Oh, we can take it all the way down to about 50.
Right. So you have a relatively low proof. Entry proof, not 125 when you're putting it in the barrel.
Oh, when it's in the barrel, it's at 125. So we blend it from that 160 that comes down. Yeah, by law, it's got to come in, I think, at over 120, I think, or 118, somewhere there.
160, I think you can distill it up to, and then you got to put it in the barrel at,
I don't have the CFR in front of me, but
Right.
it's somewhere in there.
Yeah. All right. So then talk about what you want in a whiskey. What's the flavor profile that you like and what you're looking for?
I mean, I'm a little bit of a traditionalist. I mean, I like something that is palatable. So I like a little bit sweeter up front. I don't like a hard burn, but I like, you know, just enough to let it know that you're there.
Mm-hmm.
But I really like how soft this is. It's very sweet.
So there was a little new make here on the beginning, but then that's kind of blown off at this point. I mean, we've had this open for maybe 30 minutes, and that's really softened up. I get a lot more of the fruit. I think that's from the pot still. You know, I tend to think bourbons that are produced on pot stills tend to have more elements of like brandies, so they're a little bit more. They bring out a little bit more of the fruit essence.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let's try it.
Very well.
I've tried it before. So I think the best thing about that, for me, for a new whiskey, is the complexity of spice that's really integrated. Because I think with a lot of new craft whiskeys, you don't get the integration, you don't get the spice. You know, you either get a lot of fruit, or it's a little flabby, or it's a little too sweet. This is not that at all. It's got a real nice, like, kind of a hard spice to it.
Yeah.
It's got a breadiness.
Yeah, you get the corn, but not the green, I think, is...
Yeah. No, the green really is gone in this whiskey, and I was impressed with it at the distillery when we selected it, and I'm impressed with the bottle. We're doing these for $59.99, which, you know, I know that's a high price point for whiskey, but for craft whiskey and the first of its kind, and for something that's really a lot of effort, love, and free law advice has gone into
certainly has.
It's gone into making this whiskey. So, congratulations to you guys. You continue to grow your business. What's kind of next for Hotel Tango?
Well, absolutely more bourbons, but we're laying down single malt right now. We're laying down some rums. We're trying to get a hold of some agave. We're jumping into some absinthe. We're doing a lot of little fun projects that I think we're going to start doing a lot more of these single barrel and just kind of one-offs more often. That they seem to be fun and great partners. And
you guys bought some land too, right? I mean, you're putting like a whole farm thing in, and
yep, we're already planted and ready to go. We're going to see a lot of those vegetables in our tasting room, and some of those botanicals eventually in our absinthe or in our gins.
Wonderful. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for all this, and thanks for letting us have first crack at this single barrel whiskey. And we're proud to support, you know, local businesses and veterans like yourself. And, you know, thanks for your service. But more importantly, thanks for the whiskey.
Cheers. Thank you. And thank Big
All
Red.
right. Thank you. Cheers.
Cheers. Awesome.